the 4th of November, 4:21 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much? Mr. Naruhodo, I really must congratulate you. It was a truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you. Oh, thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side. Through it all, Miss Suzuto. Oh. Your kind words mean so much to me. It really was a very splendid show, that Naruhodo. I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. Your client? Oh yes, yeah, I suppose. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh, well in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zyke's smiling face, everything will seem much better. A smiling face from Lord Van Zyke's? Yep. Oh, I feel much better. Miss Suzuto. Everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder. Oh dear. I really shouldn't have presumed. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today, well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. I feel as though I've robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today. Oh. Well, thank you. What magnanimous words. I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if he were here. Kazuma. Hello. Yeah, I don't think you're reading people right at the moment. Miss Suzuto. There's another face like thunder here. Oh my, and he really was here. Lord Van Zyke's. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. Congratulate me, or curse me. You failed to bring down the Reaper. I owe you an apology. No, it is I who should apologize. Your father, Genshin, had been stronger than perhaps. I made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That's fair. That's sad. I suppose you fought for justice and the truth, but that at least I can't withhold respect. Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold them dear. Kazuma-sama. I must say, there's one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Clint Van Zykes wrote before his duel with my father. Sogi is a fine detective, and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. Yeah, the second wish, which is clearly to do with Iris. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Zykes. What can the second of his final wishes have been? And that your father agreed to honor, you mean? I think perhaps this is going to be Shlome's. Oh, no. Close though. I might be able to shed some light on that. Oh. What? Father? It was 10 years ago, as you know. The day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin. Why aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agree to it, Sashiro and I would gladly petition the government. You've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Eugen, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret, and tell no one. You should find a lady of the gentry in hiding there. A lady of the gentry? She's not in a good way, and she's with child. The birth is imminent. There's Iris. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her only hope. By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin? Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, as his dying wish. My goodness. I swore to the man that I would help, that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on. What did you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night, you're going to be... You never know, though, do you? What life will bring. Alright then. Tell me the address. I'll head there at once. Mr. Shiro and... No. Not with him. Pardon? This is a favor I'm asking of you. And only you, Eugen. Right. I see. Very well then. That very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I found the old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. An old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds. The poor woman was on the floor, at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further, but it was a torturous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. But the mother died. But Iris lived. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, yeah. My efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been well looked after over the years. made of top quality leather with fine stitching. That's the one in Shlom's flat. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it, everything dropped into place. Is that emblem either always been there or has it been torn off? B for Baskerville. But Baskerville? You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint Van Zykes? That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter. I suppose he didn't really have any choice. What? Well, your brother said that he confessed everything to his wife. So she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer. Ah. So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Van Zykes family as much as possible. And that's where Shlom's comes in. I don't believe it. I imagine that in his final hour, Lord Clint Van Zykes made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later I was summoned back to Japan. And without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. Oh, how awful. I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend, there we go. I asked him if he would be a father to her. That being Mr. Shlom's, I presume. Yes. He took one look into my eyes and agreed to it on the spot. Good on Shlom's for that. Mr. Shlom's? He has a heart of gold. Really, all it can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name. Oh? When I'd come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name that I gave the little girl. Your wife's name, Professor Mikitaba. In other words, the name of my mother. Ayame Mikitaba. What does Ayame mean? It's got to be an iris of some sort, right? Oh. That's right. Ayame. Or in English, iris. Iris? Like, you didn't put the pieces together before that point. Like the whole Shlom's bit. I had no idea. Ding dong. Mr. Narahoda, what's wrong? This little thing just pinched me on the behind through my trouser pocket. Hard. Ah, my dear fellows, can you hear me? Mr. Shlom's, is that you? You ding dong. Yes, we can hear you. You see what excessive tugging can do. Let that be a lesson to you. Mr. Shlom's, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius. Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief Injustice would require such measures. Bruno, Susie! Oh, Iris, we're just speaking about you. Ding! Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews a more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too. I'm afraid I couldn't. Come on, Uncle Van Zykes. The Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again. No? Really? Oh, pew. But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude. Oh, how lovely. You've promised now. I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then. All right, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon. Ding dong. Ow! One final pinch goodbye, was it? There's a smile. Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Van Zykes, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life. Wait, Lord Van Zykes? Yes? What are you intending to do now? Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Oh no. I intend to publicize the full truth about the Professor case. Once that's done, the Van Zykes family will be ostracized completely from London society. Surely not. So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. Indeed, well done, Kazuma. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma Asogi. It seems as though he's really matured suddenly. He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must. Will there be pheasant? It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Oh? The 4th of November, 6:25 p.m. Shlom's suite. That's the trunk right there, right? I want to see if there's a patch missing, you know. I'm home. Oh, bloody hell. About time you got here. You've been waiting ages, Odo. What are you doing with that colourful piece of history? It's a party, innit? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Right. I'll remember that. You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotaba. Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaining his partner with the tale of his adventure. A sight to behold. Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin? I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikataba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Shlomes. What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say so before? Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Shlomes, Professor Mikataba. Finally back from the Bailey. And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a very long time. Ah, Bruno, there you are. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to fill me boots. Goodness. Is that really true, Gina? Yep. I'm losing me copper's clobber and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. You're really leaving the police force, but why, Ginny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. And anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver turned dick, is he? He might. Well, people can change, you know. Ah, yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of his now defunct piece of evidence. Eh? It's the inspector's pocket watch. And the crown has been reattached. That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years, without fail, it had measured every second of the man's remarkable career. But now, it's stopped. Come on, Gina, take it. Take it! Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again. Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. It's gotta be me. There ain't no one else. Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss. Yes, Ginny. Yes, he was. Oh yeah. I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old men. Oh. Alright, and it's decided. I'll do it. And I swear, I'll find your dad and bring him in kicking and screaming. Yeah, good luck on that. I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate. Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well... I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Ginny. Eh? Iris? Well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people, you've strangely helped. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey. Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone. Well anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I've finally realised. My daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley? With every word, Iris. Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy. Aww, I want to give her a hug. This is, aww, this is perfect. Perfect. I think, Mikataba. Yes, Shlomes? I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh? For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have experienced it, were it not for you. You old softy Shlomes. But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital. Wouldn't you say? Oh, well, the food would go cold. That's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley. Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? Oh dear. Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to the suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, with my greatest family. That's sweet of him to say as well. The 4th of November, 9:37 p.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. And this attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruhodo. Oh, Professor. Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Suzuto's room. Yes, Suzuto-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of? Ah, I see. What's she up to? I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier. Oh? With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up. Lord Clint Van Zykes. I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was agreed with Genshin after all. Lord Clint Van Zykes' final wishes before he died, you mean? Yes. Had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Suzuto back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. That's why. When I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. You'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case. The dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt. Baskerville. If you decided to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you'd have made the connection to the Van Zykes. And to make matters worse, Suzuto knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time. Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those 2 clues, I feared you and Suzuto might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed, to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in the aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. That is probably something we would have done, yeah. Something I've never understood is why Suzuto-san came across the manuscript in Japan, though. You know Iris's The Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean. Shlomes sent it to me. That was before Suzuto left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I had read it and carelessly left it on my desk. Which is where Susato came across it, of course. Ah. It was the only case Shlomes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. She's a bright kid. Shlomes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Shlomes for safekeeping. So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father? That's right, because Shlomes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted. Oh? I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too. Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. Are you quite sure? I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February... Ugh. My becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Susato-san, and Mr. Shlomes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client. I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. The path of a defense lawyer, eh? Yes. That's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have. Very well then. I must say it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for you to return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame. Never mind. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night. There she is. Susato-san. I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help but, how much did you hear? Well... and the part about Iris's real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So you've made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Yes. I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that this is what you decided, Naruhodo-san. You did? Suzuto-san. Yes? I suppose this means it. Has to be farewell soon. I suppose. You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. It'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant by his side. I'll do my very best. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. Can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant. It's growing late. She's totally coming with him. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes. You're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Suzuto-san. Thank you. Aww. We jumped straight past the 5th of November. It's like, no! You had an opportunity there to have fireworks going off and everything and you jumped past it. Oh. 7th of November, 5:42 AM, Port of Dover, Quayside. Can't believe this day has finally come. You're really leaving then, Runo? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. Don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course. I promise. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but I like how we can't hear the dots because they're so far away. Like the diddly-diddly-diddly when they speak. It was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris. You do that. Yes, indeed, honk.
Susato-san.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor.
Oh my.
I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long,
You'll learn how to say Zykes.
I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me, the demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector, but it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days.
I'd say good then, like learn from that.
While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor,
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
until I'm ready to face the demon within me, to slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care, if you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san?
Just one more thing.
The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
Without a ticket? You kind of need a ticket.
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end.
Thanks.
She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
You are not incompetent.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Ah! What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
And you need a ticket?
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
Yeah, she knew this would happen.
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
Yes, yeah, I get it. Honk, yes, yes.
Bruno, your ship's about to leave.
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword. One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
They fixed Kuruma then.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What?
Oh!
The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, we'd welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
Indubitably.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain.
Honk.
A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Come, the game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes' face was alight with joy. The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
objection!
I knew it would be objection.
Until we meet again, Bruno.
I just knew. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. Out of all the great Ace Attorneys, no, out of all the Ace Attorneys I've played, I really like both of these combined. Feels weird to not put them together, you know. I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematograph since that day. but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods, and what of the promised closed court secrecy? Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order. A sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. Ah yes, the traditional I have to record this after the fact moment because they say it too fast and I have no control. I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." But it made Hurley cry. And I gave him some lotion I'd invented as well, to dye his hair red safely. But he said that might make him cry too, so I'd rather not use it. And again, I'm saying nothing at the moment. It's all in post. Apart from this bit. In those days when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. But the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward toward a bright future. Damn right, mate. Damn right, mate. It's like I can read it, just reading it out loud takes a bit longer, you know. The boss left a note for me, you know, and I can read every letter now, A to Z, the whole lot. It's cleared a load of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby here are gonna keep doing for Londoners. Only wish I could have said how grateful I was before he... You know. I really like Gina. Probably my favourite character, my favourite twist. Well, there are Shlomes. I do like Shlomes. I like a lot of characters, really. Gina, truth is, I'm not that upstanding fellow you think I am. You might be a diver at art, but it's a good art. You reminded me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to cater off before it's tied out of London town for the foreseeable. And then, I've got to complete your education in the art of detection a la Gregson, as they say. The little half smile on his mustache there. Do-do. Ah, the music's good though. The music's good. Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry into the office of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Objection. Oblique. Overstatement. Overruled. The minister has been detained in Britain anyway. Who is this cattish counsel for the defence? And women are forbidden to enter the courtroom. Oh really? My friend Susto-san is in the British courtroom all the time and doing a wonderful job. Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team. I do enjoy all those little kitties. They're adorable. Absolutely adorable. It does bring to attention one little mystery I still have in this whole game, though. Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting corpses? Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole. I like to hone my filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama? Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I? No. And I'm glad. Why did his cat appear in Shamspeare's room during that case? How was it there? I don't think we found out, did we? Here I am again in Great Britain on the invitation of my dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was so excited. I picked a splendid hotel and now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Para, come to my rescue again, please. I wish I could just vanish into thin air sometimes. Oh dear, you really are a harebrain, aren't you? You really are. That port had been stood there the whole time. When I went to make the waxwork impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we Tuspels would not do. I wish we had more with her character, it would have been interesting. Especially to do with Shlomes, you know. Everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know. Everyone calls me a Peppino, and I sell a spaghetti. It's a red than my head. Everyone's they call me. No, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous. Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. Yes, and when we're released, we're going to strike it rich together. Yeah, that's kind of worrying though, isn't it? You really are eating your spaghetti over there, aren't you, though? I worry what future awaits them. When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take. And however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. If I'd have ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Kuruma in your care. I like the thought process of there's a demon inside him, though. That they acknowledge that, yeah, he went a bit too far. I've made some tea, Narahiro-san. It's important that you rest whilst you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say. It's the name of the game, everyone. She said it. She said it. Aww. The kitty as well. There he is, look. Down there. Adorable. Are we getting proper credits now? There we go. Do I control this? Oh, I was going to say, do I move around? But no. Like a walk down memory lane, isn't it? It really is. I really liked her when she had like this sort of Ryunosuke look to her. There's the kitties. Adorable. God, I'd forgotten about that reporter dude. Oh my. But right, thoughts on the game though. It's very odd because I kind of see them as a complete package because, you know, anthology kind of thing, collection, whatever it was called. But if I was to like compare 1 to 2, I'd say 1 has the better cases, 2 has the better story. Because some of the like end cases in this game weren't really cases in the same sense of how they normally are with Ace Attorney. But they were still fun and interesting in their own way. So it's very much a mixed bag. It's like the story is definitely so much better here. Story in the first one, it was clearly just setting up this. Clearly just setting it up. But again, I do feel like the cases weren't as good. Like, I think we were fine up to Hairbrains. And then they just got sort of sidetracked into the plot, like the overall plot, really, of everything going on. Again, it's like a mixed bag, really. You sort of have to see them together, really, don't you? One thing I will say that I missed in this game is the anime cutscenes. They didn't have any. In the first game, they had anime cutscenes. They didn't have any in this one. I would have liked that. But they didn't have any. At all, not even for the ending. That was still 3D models. Bit of a disappointment. Bit of a disappointment there. I'd have liked more with Caden as well, to be honest. We never really got to explore his office. Like, what was with the parrot? Like, I tried to investigate the parrot, and we never got anything going on with the parrot. Was that just a reference to the first game? You know, with the parrot on the stand and all that type of stuff? Could be. Could be. Ah, Gregson. Gina. Toby! Again, Gina, one of my favourite characters in this. I just like the idea of, like, the twist on Lestrade there. Oh my god, he's doing his dancing. Wait, when did Shlomes disappear and reappear? He was following us a minute ago. That doesn't make any sense. Does have me. Oh, hello. I expected you to be a bigger part of all of this, to be honest. Guilty! Yes, you are guilty, aren't you? Shlomes is gone again. He's gonna reappear. I do like the Iris story as well. There's so much about this that I really like. Alright, were you clapping? Alright, alright. Alright, calm down, mate. Calm down. I'd love to see these characters again. You're definitely a better cast than, like, the first 3 games, if I'm remembering correctly. Really enjoyed these characters so much. It's that feeling of the writing got better over time, didn't it? With this series. I've gone from the beginning to the end. So now I've got to do the ones in between, haven't I? Capcom! Well done, Capcom. Well done. Lovely series. Lovely game. Oh yeah, they brought these west with this anthology collection thing, didn't they? Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Because you had to get emulation and fan translations before, didn't you? They eventually brought these here and it's like, oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that so much. Wow, I expected it to go 3D on the thing. Fiend! So that says done? I'm assuming so, because it says Fiend. So, let's press X and see what happens. It fades. See if there's anything. Whoa! That is looking freaking cool. I like the look of that quite a lot. Quite a lot. Yeah, we're back. Chronicles, that's the word I'm looking for when I was talking about collection and stuff. But that's us done with the Great Ace Attorney 2 of the Chronicles here, but we're not done with the Great Ace Attorney. No. There's still something left to do. But very much want to say thank you for joining me through Great Ace Attorney 2. That was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot of comments down below going on. I was reading them while we're going on. I made reference to them every so often. Like, thank you very much for joining me on this fun journey. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I assume you did, again, with the comments coming in like they were. It was kind of obvious that, yeah, people were enjoying it. The story's just great. I think that's the thing. The story's great. That is the key. Again, even though I'm like the cases with Edda in the first game, the story was fantastic. It was just so good. It's just so good. But oh yes, if you want to support the channel, there's a link down in the description, Patreon, subscribe, press bell, YouTube stuff, whatever. Anyway, what we're going to be doing now is escapades. Play some short extra episodes. There's extra episodes in the Lanced magazine, apparently. So in the first of 8 escapades, Ryunosuke finds 2 troublemaker witnesses from his earlier trial having a battle of words in the defendant's antechamber, leading to a real tongue lashing. I have no idea when some of these take place, but we'll find out. We will do like 1 part per episode. That feels correct with this. So it's only going to take like 4 days to get through with us putting 2 videos out a day. Think how fast we got through this compared to like previous Ace Attorneys where we were doing 1 video a day, but this time we did 2. Flying through. Went flying through it. I do like this 2 for 2 plan we got going on. It works so well. But we'll see you in the next part. Should I call this end and... Yeah, I'll probably call it like part 1 when we go to the escapades. No. But yeah, we'll see you in the next part with episode 1 in the Defendant's Antechamber. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-da. For now.